So for these last 2 weeks, I thought I'd give you this project and have you do it on your own. But I will walk you through a few things here. One will be 2D this week, and then the other one will be 3D. It's sort of like a home final to make sure that you kind of know what you're doing a little bit. So if in case you didn't remember how to put it back to the 2D, we were in 3D there for a little while. You can go down to that gear icon and go to drafting and annotation, and you'll get all of your ribbon back for the 2D. Okay, this is the project, and it's in the book on page 107, but it's similar. It's just this actually, and it's there is a 3D of it on the previous page, but um, this could be something that we're going to develop next week into a 3D as well. So when you look at this, these three views are all of the same project, right? So you've got this curve that's coming down with a radius of 19, and that would be this rectangle here because you're looking at the top view. This is the top view. So when you draw this, keep in mind that everything is kind of lined up. And that's why I'm using this miter method for drawing. So you set up your layers. I have center, hidden, dim text, miter lines, object, and I made the miter lines a no plot so that we didn't have them on the drawing. And then depth points was automatically created when I started to do the dimensions, as I said before. So you're loading the line type, center, and hidden. You're setting up your object layer like we've done before as 0.06. Okay, so as you draw this, you can use tracking a lot to just to start bringing dimensions from one view to another. Like for instance, the height of this front view is the same as the height of the side view, right? So this side view right here, you see this hidden line? That hidden line is actually representing, this curve coming down. So I just drew this just now. I started with this, as much of this front view as I could, and then I started pulling the lines over, and then also up here, I knew this was 47.6. That's like how tall this is, right? So, and I know it's 63, so I used tracking to create my box that was 63 by 47.6. Right, and then, where do you put these circles? Whenever you have a radius like 9.5, you know that that's the offset, right? That's going to be the offset from these two lines in, because the radius of 9.5 is the same all the way around. So from this center out here is 9.5, and here. So the same thing with the diameter of 9.5, you would then know that these two circles that are coming on this corner are going to be an offset of 9.5 in order to find the centers for those. All right, then. The other thing, too, I just wanted to point out to you is not only the layers, but if you type in D and enter and you go to modify, I just went to the fit tab and I tried different scales. The 25.4 seemed pretty big, so I used 20 just because the text was kind of big at 5.4, which is the metric of this. You can change it if you want. I thought 20 was okay for the use overall scale. And then primary units, I changed my precision to 0 right here. And it rounded it up so that when I placed all of these dimensions, none of them had like this precision of one place to the right. So once I created all of them, I went back, I clicked on that dimension that I need to change, I right click, I go to precision, and I pick 0.0. Now I could do that for each one, or one of my favorite commands on this screen, I think, is this one called match properties. So if I wanted to match a property, let's say this one, I'm just going to turn it back into the precision of 0. It was 0. And I want to match it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on match. I'm going to click on this one as my source because I changed that one to the precision of one place to the right. And then I'll click on this one as my destination. And once you're in that mode, you can just click, 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 click on all the different dimensions that need the precision of one places to the right. Okay, I think other than that, the text height that I used was 4 inches. So we went over a lot of that, how to change your height. When you're placing the text, you can struggle through different things to get this to work because we've done all of this throughout the semester. So without a video walking you through step by step, see what you can do. Kind of challenge yourself to go back if you need to. I did have here my polar tracking set to 45, which helped me to draw that miter line. So what I did was I didn't even, it's up to you when you draw it, but I pretty much drew this front view and then kind of tracked over and started this side view somewhere. But then these two lines right here, that one and this one, these two come from the top the top view bottom line and this side view like left line right here. And from that, you can draw your 45. At that point, I was able to, and you can tell by this drawing, use the miter line to pull up this miter line and bring it over and know where this hidden line was. I mean, yeah, you could have just used 9.5 offset. That's true too. But also these hidden lines for the circles, these two circles right here. You could use offset if you want, but what I did was I used the quadrant object snap, making sure your quadrant object snap is on over here. And I tracked over from the top and the bottom of the circles over and down. Same thing with the center line, from the center of the circle over down. Okay, so I think this should be good for you guys to create. I don't think you need to know anything else because we've gone through it. You know how to put this 2x in there by double clicking on it. Going to annotate to pick up the center mark, which I used for these circles and this bigger circle. Unfortunately, the center mark at this scale, I had to click on it and then use these arrows to kind of pull the line out a little bit more. And it's still, you see what it did here? I'm going to have to do that. So, all right, just to make sure it's cleaned up for your portfolios, you see this difference between the center mark and this one? Because I have center mark on in the dimension style, it shows the second center mark. So we're going to type in D and enter and pick the modify button. Go to the symbols and arrows tab and turn off that center mark for those dimensions. Under symbols and arrows, under center marks, I'm going to click on none and pick OK and close. And now see that's kind of like cleaned up a lot better. All right then, at this point, we're going to print it. So I'll go ahead and use the ACAD high quality monochrome, and because we're in model space and not in paper space still, we have to put a check mark. We're not in layout, let's say. We can put a check mark in the center of the plot and create a window. Now, hey, if you want to create a layout and put it in there, that's fine too, because we did do that too. Click on apply to layout and preview. There it is. It should look something like that. I hope I got it all right. Let's see. It looks like I didn't miss anything. You can put the assignment name there that's posted online, and then I'm going to go ahead and print this and save it to my my folder. Okay, guys, let's see what you can do. We've been working on this whole week, all semester, and instead of walking you through step by step, I'm going to have you go back and use your skills that you developed over the semester to do this 2D drawing, and then next week we'll do a 3D drawing. All right then, have a good one.